everyone. I'm doing my next section for my John Maxwell, and today's section is on sharing information. And there's 3 reasons that John gives us for sharing information. One is to include others on our journey. The second is to make people feel special. And the third is to make people feel valued. So he's given powerful examples in here. He's given an example of when he decided to move because he was traveling so much. Him and his assistant worked out that he spent 30 days of the year getting to and from airports. And so they decided to move to an airport hub to make it easier for him. And he invited one of his colleagues who had helped him to write books to join him before they moved. And his colleague appreciated that so much because it gave them time to plan, it made them feel valued, and then they could make a decision around it, which is very different from just informing people that, okay, I'm leaving now, or I'm going now, or I went somewhere and I came back. That's very different. And it doesn't make people feel valued if you do that. It makes us, or it makes a person feel like, oh, well, you don't care whether I know where you're going, what you're doing, when you're coming back, who you're staying with. It makes people feel unimportant. Whereas if you share information, it makes people feel valued. And if you share information that is privileged information, it makes others feel included. It makes others feel, well, you know what, if I was part of that, I would also know that, but I'm not an outsider anymore, so I know what's happening. And again, if you think about our teams, when we go into things like succession planning, communication planning, if you give people a heads up to say that we're looking at implementing changes, we're looking at bringing on new systems, that helps people to adjust rather than people coming into work, which is the North American way, and finding out that, oh, there's a new system now, or all your jobs are gone to South Africa, so all of you are going to be laid off, and we'll try to find something else for you. Because that is a shock to the system of a human being. And it's a shock to your team that everybody has to adjust to. If you share the information and you tell people, these changes are coming, this is what we're expecting, it makes people feel special. It makes people feel that they're valued, that you care about them. And there's no secret sauce. There's no secret ingredient. It helps people to understand that there's a process being followed. And that even if they are being let go, they will be provided with outplacement counseling, they will be supported in it, and that the team will carry on looking to help them to get other opportunities. And I've had both experiences, so that's why I can speak to them when it comes to succession planning and leadership development and retention on your teams. Because today we live in a world where companies are relocating people. So, for example, Teleperformance, when they first started, they used to relocate people to Sweden, to Germany, to Australia. A lot of different companies do that. And I used to apply for those jobs. I used to apply for jobs in Sweden and Switzerland. I never got selected for them. I also applied for jobs in Australia, in Ireland, with different banks, with different companies like EY. I never got selected for them. So there is nepotism in Canada. I know they're always criticizing our African leaders and our African nations and saying that, oh, there's nepotism there, they're dictators. But there's nepotism here, and there's some dictatorship that happens here as well. So it happens all over. It just depends on the extent. How many times do you open a newspaper or pick up an article and it will say, friend of Justin Trudeau or friend of Mark Carney, and that's how they get them into key positions. So it does happen, and for us who are migrants, we don't have that. So we don't have that privilege of having lived in one place, grown up in one place, and having people open doors for us. Because if we had lived in one place, we would have those family connections through the church, and because our family credibility and our own credibility, we would have doors open for us. But we don't have that here. So we have to constantly prove ourselves. And for me, the hardship is that it's always contracts. It's always like 3 to 6 months or a year to a year and a half. So there's no stability. And it becomes very, very hard. But I do reach out to people. I try to connect with people. I try to ask for help. And I put my best foot forward. And that's why I'm sharing this, because I know that there are other immigrants coming in. There are other women and men who will go through the same challenges. And if you're prepared when you come in, you have a different mindset. I didn't have that mindset. I thought it would be like England. I thought once I got a job, I'd be able to stay in that job and progress with the company, because I didn't change jobs that often in England. But it's very different. And now with the they're saying we're in a recession already. Many of us are looking for work. So we have to keep that in mind in what we're doing. And then if you make people feel you're contributing to their success, they appreciate it. So hopefully when they see opportunities come up, they'll think of you. I had somebody contact me through LinkedIn to say they're looking for a very responsive person. I said, you know what, I'm over 50 now. I'm not very responsive. I'm responsive, but if you're looking for somebody that's going to respond like a 20-year-old, I don't want that kind of pressure anymore. I'm more into planning, helping to oversee things, looking at succession planning. That's where I'm at. So you have to be able to discern where are you going to fit in and how are you going to fit in. It's the same thing with board work. I didn't enjoy the experience of being on a board because there's so many conflicting voices, there's so many conflicting ways of doing things. And if you're trying to adapt something that worked in New York, it may not work here. Now there's rooftop gardens and there's all kinds of things that have been implemented. But when I was on the board for Greener City a number of years ago, and they wanted to do it, we didn't get the funding. I told them it's not going to work because this is not New York. If you start out with something small and then prove to people that you're able to do it, maybe we'll get the funding. They didn't listen. And then we didn't get the funding in the end. So we have to be able to be courageous and use our voices when we think things are not going to work. And I also get tired. I get tired of telling people, this is not going to work, or this is the way to do it. Because it's like, you know what, can you not also think, like, does it always have to be me that's telling you? So I take a break, and I never went back to board work after that, because I was like, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy taking the meeting minutes. I don't enjoy sitting on a board. So I never applied for any other board positions after that. But it's good to try new things, because then you never know what you're going to enjoy and what you're not going to enjoy. I like doing things around the home. I like baking and cooking and, taking care of the home. And that's why I think I fit in that administrative role well, because it's a lot of housekeeping. It's like setting up the events, doing the catering, making sure people have what they need when they're traveling. And I went to many off-site events as well as part of the team. So those are the 3 things for the charismatic leader today. And I'm going to stop there. I'm still applying for jobs. I'm still looking for work. And I'm very grateful to God that my blood pressure is stabilizing and that it's falling into place. I'm still not losing the weight I need to, but I'm not going to give up. I'm still exercising, going out for my walks, now the summer's coming, I'll be swimming. But I'm praying I get a break soon because I don't have any money. I am living off debt and it's very, very hard, and I'm very capable of working. So Father Larry and myself are praying that I get a good paid job and that the next job I get, I'm going to be able to stay there and retire with that company. Because when I left TD, I didn't have a choice in 2007. I didn't want to leave, but I didn't have a choice, and since then it's been ongoing ups and downs, and we're hoping that it will change. So I'll leave it there, and if you do hear of work or people looking for speakers, by all means reach out to me or reach out to the John Maxwell team. I'm also with HRPA, and I'm hoping that now that we have the government formalized in Canada with the elections, I'm hoping better days are on the way. And I got an email warning to go vote. I'd already voted. It was so funny. I told the Conservatives they should have taken me off that list.